Welcome to Movie Recaps. Today we're diving into A Quiet Place Day 1 movie. Get ready for a thrilling look at how it all began. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more recaps. So let's start the video. He sliced an orange, ready to enjoy the thrilling game, when suddenly an unidentified object appeared in the sky. It looked like a meteor slowly descending to Earth. At that moment, the radio emitted a sound, and a dog began barking wildly at the sky. Everyone was stunned, their expressions growing serious. As they stared at him, a loud rumble echoed, making the man uneasy. He stood up slowly, thought for a moment, and in a panic, called for his missing daughter, pulling her away quickly. Everyone finally reacted, and the exciting game abruptly stopped. The two reached the street, but just as they were about to head home, sirens blared behind them. The man approached to inquire, but as the police turned, he quickly returned to the car, started it, and soon countless creatures descended from the sky, attacking humans relentlessly. More and more men chose to abandon their cars. In the chaos, he hurriedly took his daughter into a restaurant. An old man prayed under the table, nearly crying from fear. The strong, quick man covered his mouth. A creature's shadow appeared at the window, causing everyone inside to tremble in fear of the coming as lunch. Suddenly, a woman's phone rang, prompting the creature to break through the glass and attack the strangers. The woman and her daughter quickly escaped through the back door, but to their surprise, the creature wasn't going to let them go. They soon reached the street, and in a moment of crisis, a police officer appeared, raising his gun at the creature. But in the next second, a boy with a toy approached his father, and the family showed a look of terror. The father carefully took the toy from his son and slowly removed the battery, trying not to make a sound. The boy looked unhappy. The mother comforted him, saying the toy was too loud and could attract unnecessary danger. The family gathered their belongings and slowly left. But then, the sister, feeling sorry for the boy, secretly gave the toy back to him, telling him to stay quiet. After she left, the boy finally smiled. Unexpectedly, he picked up the battery from the table, unaware that this action would lead to disaster. This was a city overrun by creatures from outer space, clad in nearly impenetrable armor, moving with incredible speed. Their hard shells could tear through metal, and they hunted with extremely sharp hearing. In this post-apocalyptic wasteland, humans learned a new way of life, which was to make no sound. The family ventured out to find an ancient well. They learned sign language to communicate and paved their path with sand, removing their shoes to avoid noise. The world had nearly collapsed, leaving once bustling cities deserted. Some hid underground to survive. The family returned, crossing an iron bridge. The parents walked ahead, their faces serious, as if their only reason to live was their children. Suddenly, a toy sound came from behind. The girl turned to see it was from the boy's toy. Without hesitation, the man ran towards his son to stop his dangerous action. But just then, a creature appeared. The man raced against time, but it was too late. The silence was broken once more. On the 472nd day of the city's fall, the man's wife was already pregnant. To avoid the creatures, the man continued to spread sand on the road and installed surveillance around the house. She sat by the radio daily, trying to contact the outside world, but there was never a response. To prevent the baby from crying after birth, she made a homemade breathing apparatus and prepared a soundproof box. Even the wind chimes were made of sponge. At dinner, the family lit candles, used leaves as plates, and held hands to pray for the end of the apocalypse. Soon, the two children were quietly playing games when a brother accidentally knocked over the kerosene lamp. The father rushed over, quickly extinguishing the fire with a blanket. Despite being cautious, they still attracted a creature. The roof creaked, and the father was instantly anxious. When he checked the window, he found it was just two small animals. The family finally relaxed, but just as the two little ones left, the man spread sand at the doorstep to reduce walking noise. He then bid farewell to his wife, taking his son to find supplies. But the son, timid by nature, didn't want to go. Meanwhile, the missing daughter wanted to see the outside but was refused by the father, as she needed to care for her pregnant mother. Angry, the girl pushed past her father, packed her things, and decided to run away. She believed her father blamed her for her brother's death, thinking if she hadn't secretly given him the toy, the creature wouldn't have come. Throughout the year, she felt guilt and remorse. The father and son soon arrived at the river. While fishing, the man accidentally made a sound. The son turned to run, but the father quickly grabbed it and used sign language to explain it wouldn't attract the creatures. He was too scared, haunted by his brother's death. The boy couldn't shake the fear from his mind, becoming timid and weak. But the father had good intentions, taking him to the waterfall to encourage him to shout. Meanwhile, after the girl ran away, the wife discovered her water broke while going downstairs. With the baby about to be born, she hurried to the basement, but on the stairs, she accidentally stepped on a nail. She steadied herself, but the frame she held fell, making a noise. She endured the pain, covering her mouth, her face tense and anxious. She slowly pulled out the nail and quickly set off the alarm. Just as she was about to return, a creature appeared in the house. The woman retreated, calling for help, but the baby couldn't wait. After much thought, she could only hope the creature would leave and her husband would see the alarm. She forced herself to endure the pain and adjusted her breathing. But then the creature suddenly entered the basement. The woman gasped, hiding in the corner, not daring to move. But the pain in her belly returned. She bit her lip, trying not to make a sound. As she worried about what to do, the creature suddenly opened its armored ears. In a moment of crisis, an alarm clock rang and the creature pounced. Taking the chance, the woman quickly climbed the stairs and exited. But then she turned, her face filled with terror, as another creature appeared at the door. Helpless, she hid in the bathtub, waiting for the baby. The man reached the house and saw the red lights, indicating his pregnant wife was in danger. Without hesitation, he called his son to light the fireworks in the cornfield, the only way to distract the creature. At this moment, the wife was trapped in the bathtub, not daring to make a sound. But this couldn't continue, as the baby was about to be born, and the creature was getting closer. She struggled in the tub, and suddenly a large hand broke through the wall. With danger approaching, the son finally reached the cornfield and lit the fireworks. The husband quietly entered the house, grabbed a shotgun, and rushed to save his wife. The bathroom light flickered, and the woman's breathing quickened. Then a firework exploded, and the creature, hearing the noise, rushed towards it. The woman couldn't hold back and screamed. The man ran to his wife, finding blood on the stairs. When he reached the tub, she was gone. Seeing this, he collapsed, showing a face of pain. But then a figure appeared beside him. He rushed over to find his wife hiding in the bathroom, holding a baby boy. Mother and child were safe. The man hugged his wife, and tears streamed down her face. He then took her to the safe room, and the baby finally cried. Hearing this, the husband wasn't relieved but hurried, almost discovered by the creature. He settled his wife and placed the newborn in the prepared box, telling her to rest. The creature had left, but he needed to find the other two children. Carefully crawled out of the secret room, but just as the man left, water poured into the basement through the wooden planks. It was the water pipe the monster accidentally damaged. Meanwhile, the daughter saw fireworks and hurried over, but on her way back, a light caught her attention. The girl bent down to check, and suddenly a monster appeared in the cornfield, silently approaching. It revealed its ears under its armor, listening to the surroundings. But in the next second, he squatted, unaware of the monster behind him. Just then, a buzzing sound came from the girl's hearing aid. The monster lost control, its shell opening and closing. It quickly left in fear. The hearing aid from her father saved the girl. Afterward, he went to the cornfield, about to pick up the flashlight when a hand grabbed him. After lighting the fireworks, the brother hid in the cornfield out of fear. Then they went near the granary, lit a fire, hoping their father would see it. But the brother accidentally fell into the granary. As he sank, he frantically climbed up, about to be submerged by corn. Suddenly, a piece of iron fell, landing in front of him. He saw it as a lifeline and crawled towards it. The sister didn't hesitate and jumped into the granary to save him. Meanwhile, the woman was awakened by water sounds. She looked around, remembering the newborn in the box, but a monster appeared next to the floating box. The woman became anxious. She slowly put her foot into the water, and the monster submerged. Taking advantage of this, she approached the box and picked up the baby. But the monster rose. The woman tried to suppress her panic and retreated. She was cornered, holding the baby tightly, staring at the monster. In a critical moment, There was a commotion from the granary. She turned and ran towards it, narrowly escaping. After the sister jumped into the granary, she pushed the iron plate towards her brother. Unfortunately, after saving him, she got trapped. As she sank, the brother grabbed her hand and pulled her out. The father kept searching nearby. A monster passed through the cornfield. The man realized they must be near the granary and rushed there. The siblings inside didn't dare to move, fearing nearby monsters. Just as the sister thought about getting out, a monster descended. In a panic, they covered themselves with the iron plate. As the monster approached, the girl's hearing aid sounded again. The monster lost control, trembling. It withdrew its claws and left. After confirming safety, they left the granary and the father arrived to save them. But the crisis wasn't over. The man heard a noise and told them not to make a sound. He had them hide in the car, not allowing them out without permission. Then he went to the barn, picked up an axe, and observed. A monster appeared overhead. The man was about to kick it, but the monster acted first. The boy saw it. The father fell, and the boy cried out. The sister stopped him, but it was too late. The monster heard and rushed over. It smashed the car window, shaking the roof. The children were in danger. The father woke up, dropped the axe, made a noise to attract the monster, and used sign language to say goodbye. He took a deep breath and shouted at the monster. The children returned home, but the family had no time to grieve. As the woman was about to leave with them, a monster walked down the stairs. The woman panicked and aimed her gun. But the monster seemed to have interference ability. When it opened its head armor, the TV emitted a buzzing sound. The monster panicked and smashed the TV on the ground. The girl saw the newspaper and the word "weakness" on the blackboard, catching her attention. She looked at the hearing aid, and a bold idea came to her. In a critical moment, she pressed the switch, and the hearing aid emitted a buzz. The monster lost control upon hearing it. Its legs trembled. The girl's method worked. The mother realized the monster feared the buzzing. She couldn't hold on and started shaking. But a baby's cry came. The monster regained composure and walked towards the basement. The girl removed the hearing aid and slammed into the microphone. The monster fell. The mother and daughter sighed in relief. But the monster got up, rushed at them. The woman raised her gun and fired at the monster's armor. But the gunshot attracted more monsters. The girl wasn't afraid. She picked up the microphone and, with her mother, prepared to deal with the monsters.